know the half of the abuse. All my friends are heathens, take it slow. Wait for them to ask you.
I see the Telltale decided to reuse some of the Walker sound effects from season 1.
Jesus!
Hand me that there.
Cutting it off won't work.
Says who?
Whoa, hold on a moment. Why is Pete asking says who? Didn't he mention in the previous episode that he knew a cousin down in Ainsworth who tried the method in a similar situation?
We could take her arm off. I know that worked for a cousin down in Ainsworth. We could try that.
So he knows about the amputation. The inconsistency makes our gamer head spin like crazy. Besides, we've already established with Lee that if you get bit, you're dead, regardless of whether or not you chop off the infected limb. So this tension in the shack is pointless because we already know what's going to happen next. Glitchy, glitchy, glitchy.
Will you show me how to do it?
Hell no.
Why not?
Ellen Breslin, San Bernardino Boarding School, June 63. One pack and I was hooked. That broad couldn't kiss worth a damn.
That is a lame excuse for your lack of explanation, Pete. Look, I personally don't care for cigarettes, but how badass would it have been if Clem smoked one? And then she straps on the shades to the tune of Cheap Sunglasses by ZZ Top. Damn it, Telltale. You passed up on a golden opportunity here.
Out of gas.
Vehicle doesn't start up in a zombie apocalypse cliche. Boy, Telltale sure likes to take liberties with Clementine's strength. In the previous episode, she had trouble lifting a branch and smashing a walker's brains in. But in this episode, she can barricade a horde of walkers by herself? Look, I love Clem more than most people, but I'm gonna have to call bullshit on that.
Still,
I know what it is.
the fuck you do.
That's ageist and sexist. Walkers only make noises when the prompts allow them. What a waste of alcohol.
I had to kill my mom. Sounds weird when I say it out loud, huh? Luke always used to push me. I never wanted to go into business with him. I remember when he sold me on it. His big plan. Some fucking plan.
I don't recall selecting the choice that said, give me your life story so that you can give me a reason to care about you.
Cabin's only half a mile from here. You can't miss it.
Notice how Nick doesn't specify which direction the cabin is. Luckily, Clem is able to find it because... narrative? Nighttime when Clem escapes, morning when she arrives at the cabin. And that's with both scenarios. I find it disturbing how these so-called careful people leave the door unlocked for anyone to just come barging through.
Clementine, are you all right? Luke's not with you?
Now, why would you specify that Luke is not with her? Nick's gone, Pete's gone, Alvin's gone. You could have easily just asked, Clementine, where's the rest of our group? Instead of this individual name game.
Pete got bit.
What?
What happened?
What? What do you mean, what happened? No, Mike Tyson found Pete and chewed out his fibula. It was such a delicious meal for him.
Where were you? Where were you exactly?
Down by the stream.
That's still pretty vague.
Clementine, can you please watch Sarah? She's upstairs. Just distract her. And don't tell her anything.
Yes, Clementine, I'm going to let you, a little girl, distract my daughter while defending this cabin all by yourself. Man, Carlos, you are a terrible parent. No wonder why Sarah is the way she is.
I found this under the house. There was all kinds of old stuff.
Under the house? You mean that non-existing basement?
You should know what's going on. He told you not to tell me, didn't he?
These lips are sealed.
All too easy.
Sarah rises in this shot, but in the very next shot, she's still seated on the floor.
First, remember, it's just a thing.
Aw, she's giving the Lee lessons on gun safety. What a cute callback to season 1. What? You guys actually thought that we were gonna give that a sin? The hell's wrong with you? No, that was genuinely cute.
The most important thing is, always aim for the head. Okay. Unless it's a person trying to hurt you, then what do? Just keep shooting.
No, Clementine, you shoot them in the head as well.
All men must die by bullet through the brain.
Maybe I could practice outside.
Now, how could you practice outside when just a few moments ago you said you couldn't find any bullets?
Will you show me how to use it? I couldn't find any bullets.
Ineptitude, confirmed. Invisible walls.
Clem, I think I know him. He can't see me. You have to make him go away. Who is he? I don't remember.
Oh, she remembers. It's just that the game won't allow us to know who he is because it's not time for the secret reveal that everyone already knows about.
Hello?
Hello there.
Once again, these so-called careful people didn't make sure they locked all the doors before they all left to make sure that some stranger doesn't waltz on in the cabin.
Well, looks like a damn tornado ran through here.
Clearly you've never been to Oklahoma.
Well, White's in trouble.
That's racist. It's true, but it's still racist.
I thought you said nobody's here.
My Clementine never picked that choice.
Is there anyone else around? You don't usually see cabins this big out here. Sure could pack a lot of folks in there.
We have a big group. Lots.
Oh? How big?
Dozens.
Dialogue flaw. Plus, damn it, this is the perfect opportunity for Clem to sneak back to the kitchen, grab the knife, and shank Carver when he's not looking. Bam! Problem solved. But of course there's no option for that because... game. Under the bed? Really? The most obvious place to hide? What's more sinful is that Carver never checks under the bed to make sure that no one else is in the cabin.
I told you, nobody's here.
Once again, never picked that option.
It's probably just the wind. Someone came to the cabin.
What?
Clementine talked to him.
And you just opened the door for him?
I didn't open the door. He just came in. She's telling the truth.
Did he say his name?
See, this is bullshit. I wanted to call these assholes out for not locking the door in the first place. Let them feel the weight of that guilt.
Maybe it wasn't him.
You know damn well who it was.
I didn't ask his name.
You didn't ask his name? How could you not ask his name?
I see that everyone is still fond of the pronoun game, so that we have to guess what we already know.
He saw a picture of me.
A picture? What were you doing taking pictures?
Clearly you've never been around girls before, Carlos. They take pictures of the most random shit, including themselves, all the time. All the time.
You told me to distract her. Distract?
Sarah.
So I'm just an idiot?
Hey, you said it, not me.
We have to leave now, sweetie, before he comes back with more bad guys. But it's gonna be okay.
It's gonna be okay when it's really not cliche.
Clem, I don't know what he told you, but William Carver is a dangerous man.
Surprise, assholes! Not really.
Shit.
Game cliche number 13.5. A couple of people just standing around gawking at the obvious threats surrounding them. And in typical Walking Dead fashion, walkers teleport out of nowhere for the sake of adding tension, even though you clearly didn't spot them surveying the bridge earlier. I see that one of Clementine's newly adopted superpowers is defying gravity.
Just play it cool. And you do the talking.
What? Why me?
I don't want to get in a fight. You really think he'd shoot a little girl?
Yes, you idiot! This is a zombie apocalypse. People will shoot anyone.
We're a little lost.
Lost, huh?
Game casually references a terrible TV show with an even more terrible series finale.
Huh. You don't look like assholes. Are you assholes? No offense or anything, but you know how it is out here. You run into a lot of assholes.
I'm not an asshole.
Oh, are you calling me an asshole?
Well, from where I'm standing, you're all a bunch of assholes.
Nice running into friendly faces out here. Like I said, I've got food and supplies back in the station.
Hey, you didn't say anything about supplies. You just said you got some canned food at the station.
If you need food, I've got some canned stuff in that station back there.
I told you not to shoot. What?
Actually, my Clementine said that.
Don't shoot! Why did you shoot?
He pointed a gun at me.
No, asshole. You clearly pointed your rifle before he did. Hey, you want to know a fun sin? You know that life story that Nick was babbling about earlier?
I had to kill my mom. Sounds weird when I say it out loud, huh?
Well, if you decide to save Pete, you'll still get the unpleasantry of hearing it once you guys get past the bridge.
I had to kill my mom. Sounds weird when I say it out loud, huh?
I don't see a key around here.
And I don't see a keyhole around anywhere. Plus, here we go again with the inconsistency of Clem's ultimate warrior girl strength. Here she is, same episode, and she's able to hold off a horde of walkers all by herself. But she can't open a simple chest, or, I don't know, unlock it?
The hell is that?
Walkers.
We got a problem here.
Yeah, we saw it.
Wow, really? Walkers had to literally cross the entire bridge before everyone noticed them? Hey, you see how all of them are sprinting uphill? You remember how they were all pretty much dead-ass exhausted about 10 minutes ago? Yeah, so do I. Speaking of being dead-ass exhausted, am I the only one that is completely annoyed as to how they managed to survive 5 days without anyone noticing?
I figure we got about 4 or 5 days to reach those mountains. Now, if they're tracking us, we should be able to lose them up there.
Did they manage to find shelter? And if they did, how come Carver never spotted it when he was tracking them? And if they didn't find shelter, how did they manage to avoid being attacked by wild animals? Did they build a campfire to keep themselves warm? I'm sure Carver would have noticed if they did. Details, man. They are important. And while we're still on this subject, didn't Carlos say that Carver had a camp not far from here?
He's the leader of a camp not far from here.
Wouldn't have taken you a 5-day walk if it was not far. Hey, we told you we nitpick the hell out of video games. It says so right in the video description.
Made it.
Clementine is a bitch to crows.
Are you trying to rob us? Excuse me, honey, but do I look like a fucking thief?
Self-inflicted racism?
Please, just do what he says.
Kenny.
The most unsurprising surprise surprises absolutely nobody.
Dad, look. A Christmas tree.
Not now, Sarah.
Carlos is a dick to his daughter for no reason.
Still wearing this dirty old thing, huh?
Telltale Walking Dead Commandment number 1. Thou shalt not dis or temper with thy Clementine's hat. Breaking this commandment will result in severe punishment, such as a brutal beatdown or death.
Carlos, right? Mind if I steal your daughter for a secret mission?
Probably not the smartest thing to say after you all held each other up at gunpoint just a few moments ago.
Clem, why don't you help Walt with dinner?
That's sexist.
I wish they had better music.
This is exactly what I say every time I turn on the radio, which thankfully is not very often.
What's it about?
Well, it's about a king that brings food to a poor man. The king and his servant march all night through a cold winter storm to reach the man. The storm is very strong. After a long time, it gets so cold that the servant can't go on. But the king tells the servant to just step in his tracks. Mark my footsteps, scoot my page, tread thou in them boldly. Thou shalt find the winter's rage, freeze thy blood less coldly.
Ah, very subtle foreshadowing. Personification of a character we wish to forget about.
We can't be sure. They might be tracking us.
Tracking? Who do you think they are? Ninjas?
Ha! I wish. Ninjas in The Walking Dead? Season 3. Make it happen, Telltale.
You all right, baby?
I'm fine, you big dope.
Just need to get some food in you.
But she wanted something to drink, Alvin.
Beck, what's wrong?
I just need something to drink.
Clem, I wanted to ask you, does Kenny seem different to you?
Hey, Sarita, did Kenny ever tell you that he likes his salt licks bloody? And on the rocks? Sorry, couldn't resist.
Matthew and Walter are amazing people. Honestly, it's dangerous to be this kind.
Irony. Haha! Take that, Boatmaster Extreme. Hold that L in your chest. Look, honestly, we don't hate Kenny as much as a lot of you do, but seeing the utter disappointment on his face is just priceless. Minus 2 sins.
Walter was telling me his family died.
Wait, so Kenny told Walter about his family but not Sarita? The supposed love of his life?
Does Kenny seem different to you? I didn't know him before, and, well, I'm curious.
Some people are after them.
Well, you don't have to worry about that no more. They'll go tomorrow and you can stay here.
Kenny talks about Clem staying with his group at the lodge, but in the subsequent conversation he talks about moving on to Wellington.
What was your plan here? Hold out for the winter? Actually, we were thinking of moving on. Somewhere up north. You ever heard of a place called Wellington?
Furthermore, why would Kenny want to go up north where it's cold in the first place? Didn't he complain in the previous season that the reason why he wanted to leave the motor inn was because if they stayed, they'd freeze their asses off?
If we carry on like this, we'll get through the winter here.
The winter? We'll freeze our asses off here.
What, did his new beard grant him the power to resist sub-zero temperatures? Also, how does anybody know about Wellington in the first place? Zombie apocalypse, people. Cell phones, radio communication. None of that shit is still in operation. What, do they have messenger birds delivering all the news now? Caw, caw, Wellington survival camp up north. Reused death stare.
Pass me that can, Duck. Duck? Who's Duck?
Telltale Walking Dead Commandment number 2. Thou shalt not speak of thy worthless child that nearly ruined season 1.
Please, do you have any food?
Are you okay?
I saw the house and I have a family. We're starving. We live down there.
Hey, look everyone. Molly returned after all. Only she shapeshifted into a ginger and adopted a southern accent. But that's not the sin. The sin here is that obvious Carver spy is obvious.
I'll bring something out to you then.
You don't have to do that.
No, it's fine.
What about your people?
We've got plenty. You stay put. I'll be right back.
That's failed logic there, Walt. More people means more mouths to feed, and you're giving away the food for your camp to a random stranger. Come on, Walt. Don't you know that nice guys always finish last? Always! Some of them don't even finish. Clearly in plain view in this shot, peeking around the corner in the next.
It's over. I have to tell him, Luke.
Even if you picked the you should tell Walter option, and it says Nick will remember that, Nick will only confess to Matthew's murder if you later choose the Nick is a good guy option when confronting Walter instead of any of the other choices. If you don't, he'll just deny it, even if you told him to tell Walter the truth earlier.
I didn't do anything. All right?
Kinda makes that particular choice meaningless.
This is fucking suicide. I'll live with it. Jesus Christ. Jesus.
Blasphemy!
Gave it to Matthew when all this started. I know he's dead.
Convenience! Okay, as someone who once worked in Foley, I find it very distracting and annoying that Telltale was unable to disguise these wind effects more carefully. Allow me to demonstrate. Now listen closely.
I could use a hand. I'll go with you.
I'm going to.
No! It's too dangerous.
Wow, the sexism is strong in this episode.
Does anyone know how to do this? Wait.
I can do it.
Okay, we'll watch your back.
Yes, you, little girl that has been able to handle herself on her own, please take care of this problem that us adults cannot resolve. I mean, I know Clem is the player character, but does she have to do everything to the point where I wonder why she's even with the group? She took care of herself when her and Krista got attacked. She took care of herself when they locked her in the shed. She handled herself when Carver confronted her. And she took care of herself on the bridge. Honestly, at this point, I'm throwing my hands up in the air thinking, damn, you people are utterly useless. Why am I even sticking around you all? Hey, where's the teleporting walkers? Ah, there they are. I see that Lee also taught Clementine to ditch useful weapons in times of crisis. I'm just glad we get to let Nick die in this episode. He's pretty much useless in the later ones anyway. Let this be a lesson, kids. What goes around always comes back around. -1 sin.
It's you.
keep moving.
Gingers that have no soul and can't be trusted, cliche.
Look at this place.
Believe this fucking place, Bonnie? Power and everything. A lot of windows, though. It's fucking huge.
These sentences become extra confusing, seeing as how they're clearly from Carver's camp, and we later find out that Carver's camp has power and is fairly large. So why are they acting like this is the first time they've seen a large site with power?
Johnny, cover that window.
Yes, Johnny, cover that huge open window where someone could easily snipe you. Oh great, another hostage murder situation. Never been through this sort of thing before.
Sarah, look at me. It's gonna be okay.
It's gonna be okay when it's really not cliche. Again.
Your choice. Motherfucker.
What a waste of ammo.
Open!
Black man that ends up dying in a zombie apocalypse cliche.
I can keep this up all night.
See, here's a problem with Carver's logic. If the whole point of capturing these people is to bring them back to his camp, what would be the point of it if all he was going to do is murder them all?
Let's remember, these are our brothers and sisters, and they all have a vital role to play in this community. Knowing full well, those who choose not to accept our love surely wish that they had.
Oh, great. So Carver is basically the governor 2.0. Fan-freaking-tastic.
Little girl, don't lie to me. Tell me, where did you sleep last night?
Pedophilic lyrics to an otherwise great song.
Fine. What do I care if you want to die? Just sit there.